to your collective consciousness, okay, and to reach those who may think that they should only care about things that matter to their personal interest, to call out to them and to just make them understand that it's not only about you, it's about what's wrong in the world, because what's wrong in the world affects all of us. And we cannot have selective memories, okay, as immigrant society. If you're Italian descent, Irish descent, you may not be like, oh yeah, but I'm not an immigrant. That's being having selective memory. Because at some point in history, everybody went through the same struggle, and you can't just forget about that. And yeah, I'm gonna run down. Actually, I'm gonna talk about a brief. I have selected certain periods, sometimes certain periods in history that pertain to what I'm going to speak about, because I could talk forever, and there's so many struggles, in the whole immigration history that, I could go on and on. But I'm here to talk about family unification. Why do we work? Why does everybody want to fight for work, right? Because we want to provide for our families, okay? Everybody cares about their family, otherwise we wouldn't work, that's why we care, So, if we know that if we don't provide for our families, either they're going to end up in a homeless shelter, or maybe, you end up on welfare, right? So, the reason I will bring up certain injustices right now that affect the immigrant community, because it ultimately will affect you. Right now, the present immigration system does not allow enough room to keep families that have an undocumented spouse together. It's very difficult. It's not, for those who may not know anything about immigration, it's not just simple. You marry a citizen and then you become illegal. It's not like that. It doesn't work like that. The immigration system right now does not care about that. So I just want you to be aware of that. Because the way it will affect you is this way, that if a family is separated and one of the family members cannot provide for themselves, then what are they to do? They're probably going to seek out social services, right? That's what's most likely going to happen, right? So in some way, we should, and right now, I have a personal story. I grew up in New York, and actually I never didn't even imagine living in New York. I came to New York because I was offered a job building buildings as a construction manager. That's where I met my husband. I didn't think to ask him, do you have any papers? I was like, come on, So, I ended up marrying this person who I later found out was undocumented. And 5 years later, maybe 6 or more, actually, and a child in between. Now, I'm struggling to keep my family together. Even though I have everything going on for me, business, I have a career, I have everything. The immigration laws are so unjust that they won't allow certain for people like myself to keep my family together. And I'm here to speak that not only for myself but for others. And that's I'm going to now run down some important states that maybe some of you may not be aware of in relationship, that relates to immigration. Okay, in 1907, there was an expatriation act declares that an American woman who marries a foreign-born national loses her citizenship. Okay, then in 1922, the Cable Act partially repeals the Expatriation Act, but declares that American women who marries an Asian will lose her citizenship. So all of that particular law was a response to the immigration of Japanese immigrants. You know, so these laws were made not thinking of the family, but just thinking of, you know, closing the doors of those immigrants, you know. So every period in history has those, you know, those are called scapegoats, you know, like right now we have a jobless situation. So there needs to be a scapegoat, you know, and this is the immigrant community. Some of us may feel intimidated by that, say, you know, may think that they're going to take our jobs away. As a citizen, you know, as somebody who actually considers this my country, I can understand some people that they may have some sentiments like that, but, you know, I also want them to understand that, you know, they're also helping to create jobs. For example, Red Bull Stadium, okay, I remember there was a Brazilian soccer game. That whole stadium was full of undocumented immigrants, you know, and who were working, you know, there was, I guess, you know, citizens working, you know, the food, but they were providing by using our services, by contributing to our community, by renting these apartments that otherwise would be, you know, abandoned. You know, so we're helping they're helping these homeowners keep their homes because, you know, so if we could talk forever about how they're contributing, and probably some people might have different opinions and so, but I'm here just to, you know, stay focused on family unity and poverty and how that relates to job, the job issue, the employment issue situation now. Now, in 1942, actually 1952, the Immigration and Nationality Act eliminates race as a bar to immigration or citizenship. Okay? And in 1965, the Immigration and Nationality Act repeals the national origins quota system and gives priority to family reunification. Okay? It may seem that the immigration law cares about family, but until you've been in a situation, you will find out that it does not, you know. So, and some of you may think, oh, why do I care? Why do you care? Because if you have a son or daughter, they may someday fall in love with a, you know, undocumented. You know, you don't know. You don't know. So my whole reason for arguing and for challenging, because this is what I'm actually working on, and challenging those immigration laws is to question the immigration system and just let them know and ask them if those laws are violating my constitutional rights of the pursuit of happiness. Okay, the pursuit of happiness, meaning that I should be free to marry whoever I want, you know? So right now, if you marry somebody who doesn't have the right document, you will be punished. And right now, if you don't know enough, about the immigration law, there's such a thing called a bar. It says there that I just mentioned that the Immigration and Nationality Act eliminated race as a bar, but I feel that they did not, because there's a 3 and a 10-year bar for those undocumented immigrants who came through the border or with overstayed visas. That means that you could be sent back to just banned from the U.S. for 10 years. That's a decade, okay? So it says you will be banned if you were overstayed a visa, or if you came through Mexico, if you stayed in the U.S. more than 180 days. Obviously, most 12 million immigrants that live in are going to have overstayed more than 180 days. So the 10-year bar does apply, and this is affecting many families who are married to U.S. citizens. I mean, I'm in a situation where I have to choose between my country, which I consider this is my country, or having to follow my husband to keep my family together. For 10 years, that's a decade, okay? What does this mean to a family? Okay, it means that my son could grow up to be resentful against the government. It means that to my business, it means that I was planning on hiring people for my business, but now I have to rethink that. I opened a business in New York that needs I opened a business in New York that needed. It's supposedly promoting businesses. So now I have to close it. So that does have economic impacts. So right now I'm actually here because I want not only for you to listen to me, because I don't know everything, and I'm sure all of you are intelligent people, who have something to give back, to say to me, because I plan on taking this to filing a class action lawsuit against the immigration, and I want to invite you to join me and to also tell others about this issue, that in some way, I'm sure if you think hard enough, you will find that this has something to do with it. And just like we're gonna fight together for the creation of jobs, and at the same time fight for human rights, and that everybody has the right to have a family. So it is very difficult for me to speak about this, but it's something that I feel it's important to all of us. So if you have any suggestions or anything that you want to say to me, you're welcome to say.
Gracias, María. Quédate ahí, por favor. Okay, the next person who's going to share is Gloria Lázaro. She is an indigenous woman from Argentina. Who is also interesting story of her is that her husband is a political prisoner in Dominican Republic. Just a couple of weeks ago, he was sentenced for 20 years. So she is a fighter, and she's going to talk about what do we mean about legalization for all. We all know that issue is really scary. Sounds like amnesty or other, or even worse. So now, welcome to Gloria.
15. Yo voy a hablar en español. Es un placer para mí estar aquí en solidaridad con María. sé directamente lo que es tener una familia separada,
I feel like
pero si tú lloras, yo lloro, entonces no llores.